Hello, good morning students of class 12 Science and Commerce. Welcome to Pandasar's virtual class on English literature, and today our topic of discussion will be the a prose from your book The Flamingo, and the title of the prose is Lost Spring. Lost Spring, written by Anis Jung, a very popular writer of Western Orissa who got settled in Hyderabad, and she is famous for her writings, especially her popular themes revolve around the destitutes and the deprived class. Deprived class, a section of our population who never get the minimum requirement, the justified requirement what as a human being or as a member of a civilized society they ought to get. So here in this lesson we will find two peculiar characters with whom our writer Anis Jung interacted, and very keenly she studied their lives, their habits, their problem, their ambition, and what she finds has been the content of this prose work. The title is Lost Spring. So we'll start from the character Saheb. Saheb is an adolescent living somewhere in the periphery of Delhi, and going to the history of Saheb, actually his family migrated from Bangladesh when Bangladesh was declared a separate nation. They fought war with Pakistan, and with the help of India ultimately they won. But during that disturbed time, a section of Bangladeshi population migrated to India just in order to find a better fortune and find a better and peaceful life. They might have thought that India is a better place rather than living in Bangladesh with such uncertainty. India should be preferred. That's why they migrated to India, and they settled just near Delhi in a place named Simapuri on the outer bank of Delhi, the suburb of Delhi, rather saying. So their main occupation, the people who migrated from Bangladesh to India, and Saheb is one among them. Their main occupation was rag picking, because they were not certified, they were not granted citizen of India, but they have been living there for years and years, for decades. They have no identification, they have no acceptance by the government of India, but they are provided with ration cards. Might be the handiwork of the local politicians, because without a ration card they won't be granted with voter ID card, and without voter ID card they cannot participate in the election. So it must be the handiwork of the local politicians who, for their own political gain, helped these refugees, rather saying the migrated people from Bangladesh. Their status in India was they were refugees, and they were granted with the minimum political acceptance. So even if the government of India didn't certify them to be the citizen of India, still they never mind it. Why? Because they have got the ration card, and with the help of ration card they can get subsidized food distributed by government, and that matters. After all, food is everything for our survival. So they never mind what is their status in India. They were quite satisfied with the minimum facility, that is the ration card, and with that they can get cheap food and they can at least survive. here in India. So, what is the character of Saheb? Being the descendant, the family business is rag picking. So obviously, the writer Anis Jung noticed every day Saheb picking rags, hanging a bag, big plastic bag on his shoulder. He would continue to pick rag and he would collect that. After that, he would sell those rags and get the little income which they will be quite helpful for their survival. So rag picking. So when continuously, almost every day, the narrator, the writer found Saheb rag picking. One day she could not control her curiosity, and she encountered with Saheb, and she asked, might be a silly question, that do you enjoy rag picking? What might have been the answer of Saheb? An adolescent just could not understand the meaning of the question, that why at all this strange woman is asking me this question, and he nodded, and in that nod it was not satisfaction from heart, rather than the helplessness, state of helplessness was being reflected in his face. That achieve, he is saying, what else I can do, ma'am? This is the only job I am left with, and I have to do it. Doesn't matter whether I like it or not. But in this way, often the narrator communicated with Saheb, and they started knowing each other. And Saheb also, after a time, started enjoying the proximity of the writer Anis Jung. One day, the writer told Saheb that why you are not going to school? I am going to start a school for people like you. And Achieve, he did some scene. Achieve, the writer, did some scene, and after that, frequently Saheb started asking the writer, is your school completed? Can I join your school now? And every time Saheb asked the same question to our writer, she started feeling embarrassment. Why? Because she herself knew that what promise she made to Saheb was not meant over the promise. That means she was not going to make a school. In actual, just she made a flying promise. And Saheb is not an idiot too. In his troubleful life, he knew very well that what people make promise, even less than 50% they come up to that. And many promises are simply just like the air or wind, simply blows and passes away. However, the narrator very keenly studied the condition of Saheb, how they are deprived of the minimum facilities that a human being should get. They are deprived of education, they are deprived of proper health care, they are deprived of proper sanitation. The place where they live is a slum area, and no facilities like water, electricity, proper road is there. But still they live, but still they are enjoying their life, but still they are happy because they are alive. The minimum things what a living thing can expect is food. They don't care about their dress, they don't care about the place they live or very sophisticated house. Never. At one place, the narrator has described the house of Saheb. It was a house built of any material available. It's not particular material like what we see in posh areas. Houses are built where the popular materials are bricks, cement, slabs, marbles, wood, windows, nothing like that. Any material available, they would collect and according to their usefulness, they try to make a place where they can live and very proudly declare that place to be their houses. And when the writer asks Saheb what he wants to be in his future, where from he will give an answer. Because he himself doesn't know what each fate leading to him. Means where his fate will lead him, he himself also doesn't know about that. And after some time, anyhow he managed to get a job as an assistant of a tea shop owner, and the day he joined, from the next day, the narrator, the writer, never saw Saheb picking rag. Now he was no more a rag picker, rather than a worker who is working, and in return he is getting. But proudly Saheb declares 800 rupees per month with all the meals. He is satisfied. Even if Saheb is no more his own master, now he is an employee, but still he is satisfied because at least a change appeared in his life. Poor people, with what little amount of provision they get satisfied. Now we should come to the next character, Mukesh, an inhabitant of Firozabad. You might be knowing that Firozabad, the place, is popular for the bangle making industries, where almost every household, almost 90% of population, they are engaged in bangle making. Furnaces you will find furnaces where glass are melted almost in every houses, and children, old men, women, all are working near that furnace with bright light. Often they lose their eyesight at a very premature age, but still they don't have any complaint. Why? Why should they complain? At least they are working, they are surviving, they are earning something at least with their utmost effort, what they can do to earn the required food that would keep them alive on this planet. So, in that area where Mukesh lived, almost 20,000 families were there, and all are engaged in bangle making industry. And but with very poor health, with very poor economic condition, with almost no provision that a human being should get, anyhow living, anyhow survive. Once the narrator wonders, why these people, the number is not small, 20,000 families, it matters. So at least they should organize themselves, make a union, so that their bargaining power would increase. But when the narrator thought this, perhaps he forgot the influence of the middleman, the influence of the sahukars, the moneylenders. Almost these 20,000 families all were trapped with the clause, in the clause of these middlemen and sahukars and moneylenders and ठेकेदार्स. They would never allow these people to get united, because once they get united, they are going to lose their profit. So the narrator asks Mukesh what he wants to be in his life. And with a gleaming eye, very proudly Mukesh declares that he would become a motor mechanic because he loves driving a car. That means here our Sahib is satisfied when he got a job, when he sacrificed his freedom, but perhaps Mukesh is made out of different material, who dreams to be his own master. He never wishes that he should work for someone else, or he should put into action his own freedom, his own self. That's why he has a wish to become a motor mechanic. Both are different. Both are destitute. Both are not getting the minimum requirement of life. And the writer thinks what a difference there is in the creation of gods. Some people are there who are getting almost everything in abundance, like the child of a rich man simply refused to wear a pair of shoes because there was a small hole in it. But a poor would be feeling proud to have such a shoes. Hole doesn't matter to him. The shoes matter, because in his entire life he has not worn a pair of shoes. So the dissimilarity in social life is reflected in the work of Anish Jung. The title is Lost Spring. So this much about the story. I think the same thing you will do. You will find some new words and write the meanings. After that you will try a very short summary of this lesson, and after that whatever question answer is there at the last of the lesson. Thank you and have a nice day. One more thing that I would like to say you. So we have not started Vistas. So whatever lessons we have completed, that means 3 prose and 3 poems from Flamingo, along with the entire writing section will be the syllabus of your upcoming exam, that is half yearly exam for English. Thank you and have a nice day.